Okay, hi everybody. It is I, Dani, from Dani Tries a Ting. And today we are going to pack an order. So you pack an order with me. It's my biggest order yet, and I am so proud of myself. I was so excited, grateful, humbled, appreciative to receive my biggest order yet. So come with me as I pack it, and I will talk all things Etsy.com, how I feel these days as a small business owner. Let's go. Let me get everything I need. All right, y'all. And when I tell you that it is, I don't know if it's snowing or it's raining, something is happening outside, I will not allow it to stop me from making this update video that I've been trying to make, but the weather has not been cooperating. Anyways, so how I've been feeling about Etsy. I decided that I'm actually going to be making Etsy update videos less regularly. I think I'm going to do them on a quarterly basis. Oh, this is the, where are you? Can you see? Can I get you to focus or no? And the reason being that I really just want to focus on my business overall. I really want this channel to document my growth in multiple capacities. And so because I'm not putting 100% into Etsy, I really want the content to reflect what makes up my business, which is Etsy, but then it's also going to be the .com. It's also how I choose to market, all of those aspects. So I just want to ensure that my YouTube content really captures what Dani Tries a Ting, what Soft Up Shop is all about. Soft Up Shop is the brand. That is the brand of the store. And then Dani Tries a Ting is essentially all the behind the scenes of what goes into the brand and what goes into, I don't know, trying to build this thing from the ground up. I have officially launched softupshop.com last week, the week before. I think it was the week before on maybe a Thursday or a Friday. And let me tell you, your girl was nervous. I was so nervous. And honestly, when I think about why I was stalling on it, I'll be completely honest. I didn't want to pay for it.com. And I know that a website is a really big, worthwhile investment. I want to be intentional about how I use my funds because I am trying to do this and build this thing while trying to be financially responsible. I'm not trying to just spend and spend and spend. I want to figure out, you know, where I can make concessions and where not. And maybe down the road, I will determine that it is a mistake to not actually spend on a website. But I also felt like, okay, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I can just try this free template and see how the platform operates. And then if I feel like I need to actually invest in the website down the road, I will. And I'm sure down the road when all those dollars are coming in, I'm sure that I will actually, pivot. But for now, I needed something that was free and that worked. So I think that I was sort of stalling because with what comes with a free website is that you're usually limited in some of the functionalities. You don't get all the bells and whistles that you would when you actually pay, clearly. So I was sort of in my head for a little bit about like, oh, this website's not like all that I dream and desire. Is it good enough? Should I put it out there? Whatever. And I was like, no, girl, you put in that work. You put in that work and you have really cute products. Put it out there. Do it. Do it scared. Do it scared. So I did it scared. Putting the little ad for softupshop.com. That took me longer than I expected. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just like put some footage together and but I wanted it to actually be compelling or cute or what have you. So it actually took me longer than I expected to put together that little video. But it's out there. I am pleased. I am happy. I sort of plugged it on social media, like on TikTok. I've been using TikTok. I used Facebook as well, and Instagram. Those are the 3 platforms that I've been primarily using. And really, I want to say that I'm focusing more so on TikTok and Instagram mostly. Essentially, as a business, you're trying to find groups that are sort of aligned with the types of products that you're creating, that where you feel like your audience might reside, and you want to like participate in those groups, be active in those groups. And then, you know, if there are ever any like questions of like, oh, what's a nice little business, local shop to buy a certain gift or whatever, then I can plug my my brand very easily. So I feel like figuring out what groups to find on Facebook, even Reddit. Reddit has lots of communities as well. So there's different ways that you can go about this. And I'm trying to figure out where to really focus, hone in my attention, because I think it can be really, really overwhelming when there's all these different social media platforms. And, you know, also social media or online marketing isn't the only thing as well. Figuring out how to go about in person. So I will still be updating my Etsy regularly as I have new products, but it's just not going to be my main focus. I'm really focusing on the .com. Okay, so now I'm going to be packing my stickers sheets. Hard to see. I have realized that I need to step my marketing game up, and while there is so much information on everything, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, my good old books. Yeah, I went to the library and got some good old books. So this one is Buyology, Truth and Lies About What We Buy. So it's all about branding, and it's all about consumer psychology. So this was one of the books that I got. There's a couple. Honestly, I have a list of like 3 books. I don't even know where they are. But essentially, I recognize, like, I feel like I could be good at this. I feel like I could be good at this. I really believe in myself, but I really want to understand it. And so I am resorting to books. I'm going to get knowledge in books and really try to understand consumer psychology so that I can understand where I'm trying to go with everything. But honestly, when I tell you I'm trying to take this seriously, I literally wrote down, you know, my product, what the benefits are, what makes it unique, what problem does it solve, sort of what purpose do I want the business to serve, and how much time can I dedicate, you know, on a week. I really want to be honest with myself about how I'm investing my time in this. And, you know, even understanding my buyer persona, like what are their interests? What are their goals? What are some of the challenges that they face or frustrations? And I feel like it's something that I probably should have done at the onset of starting a brand. But again, I just sort of fell into this. So while I'm sort of working my way backwards, I'm still trying to do the work and trying to really think back seriously on what it is that I really want Soft Shop, the brand, to be about. You'll see behind me, there is these, I had to make some calendars because I need to get better organized. I feel like because I only have so much time, I am struggling with figuring out my priorities. I just have these lists and lists and lists of things that I need to do or want to do. And I end up feeling overwhelmed by the fact that I can't do everything that I set out to do. So I printed these out and started to map some of the stuff out. But that said, I still also have a little whiteboard for the priorities for the week. So for example, I want to create some new product. And I recognize that some of the products that I create need to be manufactured. And recognizing that that process of getting something manufactured takes time. There's the, finding the right manufacturer. There's getting the thing actually made and getting the sort of drafts and okaying the drafts. Once it's actually made, so the production time, and then, the shipping and mailing time, especially if it's coming from overseas. So if I know that I have certain markets that are taking place in the summertime, I need to plan accordingly if I want to have those products ready in time for those markets, which I'm trying. I am trying. Each day I just need to feel like I've made one step in the right direction. And for me, that has meant trying to develop a system. And I don't feel like my system is entirely working yet because sleep is still being sacrificed at the moment. And I'm not getting, I don't expect to get everything done, but there's still a chunk of things that I don't feel like I'm really getting done. So I am trying to strengthen my systems, kind of like Atomic Habits ideas of like habit stacking and good habit stacking so that you can actually get progress. I think each day, if I can accomplish two things on my list, I think what happens is when I look at my huge list inside my notebook, it becomes so overwhelming. And so you need to feel like you're accomplishing something and that it is manageable. And so I think having a reduced list each day gives you a sort of level of fuel and confidence when those two things are knocked off the list. And so I think figuring out this and strengthening my system and figuring out how to make it so that I'm not overwhelmed allows me to progress. Another thing that has sort of been a pain has been thinking about packaging. My packaging is not where I want it to be, and I know that. And while part of it has to do with trying to keep costs down, I'm going to be honest, it is that. But then it's also, even though it's so lovely when you get a package that is like just really intentional, and just like beautifully, aesthetically, I don't know, gifted. It's like a beautiful gift that somebody has taken the time to like, put all this effort in thinking about you. I think that's so beautiful and lovely, and everybody deserves that. But also, A, it can be costly. Also, B, all of it ends up in the garbage. And so, I don't know, thinking about the bigger picture of climate and reducing sort of some of that, being intentional about the packaging is something that is on my mind. And I don't quite know how to do that on a budget. So I'm still muddying through it. Maybe one day I'll make a video of like before and after, because I know where my product started versus where it will end up is going to be night and day, possibly. The great things or the benefits of having attended some vendors markets is that I was able to interact with clients directly and see how they're engaging with certain things. So I do have some ideas for better packaging at least for my paper dolls. And I'm excited about it, but I'm having to do it on a budget. So it's not exactly how I would like, which I think that's frustrating. When you have as an artist, when you have this vision and you want it to look a certain way and it doesn't quite look like that, it's a little frustrating. The thing that I've been thinking about is my mailing list. So again, I've gone the free route with MailChimp, and I think it's going to provide what I need. And thankfully, in past vendors markets, I was actually actively collecting emails, which is great. So I have people, probably about 40, to email and to announce that softwebshop.com is now live and direct. But it's like I have the email drafted, and I think the trepidation is just, I guess, sending that first email. I don't know. No one wants to be bothersome. And I think when I think about this brand, I think about people deserving joy, but I think about people deserving play. People deserving play. I feel like as we become adults, everything just gets so filled with responsibility, and you sort of miss. There's a nostalgia for the back of the day. There's a nostalgia for back when we were kids and we were afforded that opportunity to play. And obviously there's a Caribbean spin to what I'm doing, but I think this idea of play is very, very ripe in my mind. And I don't know why I'm associating play with handwriting, but something about handwritten notes. I love handwritten notes. I think there's something so beautiful about reading something that somebody has very carefully taken the time to write by hand, especially in this age of technology and AI and all that jazz. So I keep thinking about that, and I keep thinking about my mailing list and what are ways in which like that tactility can be sort of felt through the mailing list. Like, am I gonna handwrite everything and like, I don't know, like scan the images in or whatever? I don't know. But I'm again still trying to work with the constraints of freeness to communicate these ideas that I think are pertinent to what my brand Soft Up Shop is about. On these calendars, I've marked up some vendors markets that I'm going to be doing, because I think I have about, honestly, 9 or 10, which it makes me a little bit nervous, but it's basically like 2 a month tops, because like I said, I feel like I only have so much time, so I don't necessarily want all my time to be put in strictly to these vendors markets. I really want to figure out how to occupy an online space and how to prioritize that. But that said, there's also such a beautiful benefit of meeting people in person, meeting your clients in person, and people getting to interact with you directly, and like a real connection. It's beautiful when there is like this real connection happening. So that's what I've been thinking. 2 markets a month. I am nervous. I invested in a tent. See, when I'm talking about investments, I invested in a tent. I invested in a folded table, one of those tables that fold. The big order came at a beautiful time. It was timed perfectly by the universe, because what it did for me is it reinvigorated a sense of confidence. I think, especially with the website, I was like, dragging my feet. But I feel like there are people out there that connect, and I hope that I hope that you guys are. I hope that there are moments throughout your journey that you are also afforded those feelings, that you also feel a sort of validation in some senses. I mean, I don't necessarily think that the validation should strictly come from like outwards. I think there should be validation from within. You should feel like your ideas are beautiful and exciting and worth exploring. But it's also really lovely when other people connect to it. Anyways, I don't want to continue rambling. I think I am done. I will see you guys at the next video. Thank you for being here. In the comments, what I want to hear from you. I want to hear in the comments about what you find challenging this week? What was the thing that caused you a lot of trepidation and hesitation this week? And did you find a way out of that? Have you found it yet? Are you still searching? Anyways, I'm all ears. I respond to the comments. Minus the bots, because there be some bots up in y'all. Like, subscribe, engage. Engaging, again, tells YouTube algorithm that you want to hear from me. And I appreciate it. So thank you. See y'all at the next video. Bye, guys. Don't forget. What are we fighting for?